Hi everybody! So it's story time and I'm going to read you today one of my favourite books, which is called The Journey Home. Now I know you've been talking earlier today in our topic lesson about how the ice is melting at the North Pole and the South Pole. So this talks a little bit about it and talks about what's happening to the homes of some of these animals. So The Journey Home by Fran Preston Gannon. Move this way. Okay. The frozen sea was melting. Where has all of my ice gone? The polar bear wondered. And where is my food? He looked around. Well, I can't stay here, he decided. So he went for a swim. As he swam along, he found a little boat, alone upon the sea. This will be easier than swimming, he thought as he climbed in. Before long, he came upon a city where machines rumbled and tall buildings hid the sky. What are you doing? Asked a panda, watching from the docks. I'm sailing in my boat, replied the polar bear. It's easier than swimming, you see. Well, I can't stay here, said the panda, lowering himself down into the boat. I think I'll come with you. And together, the two animals sailed along, listening to the seagulls and saying hello to the fish. After a while, they floated up a river to where a jungle used to be. I've nothing to climb anymore, said the orangutan. My trees are disappearing. And can you see here where the trees used to be that made the jungle? They've all been chopped down. The panda and the polar bear looked around and saw that she was right. Well, you could join us if you like, said the panda. Perhaps we will spot some trees along the way. So she climbed in and off they went. As they sailed on, they looked up at the sky and saw the beautiful shapes the clouds had made. You see the shapes here? You've got a lizard or a gecko. There's a guitar up here, castle. I think a little house there. What's that behind the rock? Said the orangutan suddenly. Shh, said an elephant. I'm trying to hide. Someone is trying to steal my tusks. Why don't you come with us, whispered the panda. We can sail far away from here. So the elephant climbed in too. And so the animals laughed and played as their small boat carried them further and further. But the sea started to swell and the dark clouds appeared in the sky. Wow, look at the sea now and a tiny little boat in all of these waves. The storm passed and the animals knew the terrible waves had carried them far away. They thought of their homes and how much they missed them. And as they sailed on, they all felt very lost on the big blue sea. A dodo watched from his island as the boat and its animals came into view. Here they are. Hello there, he called to them as they sailed closer. We're lost, shouted the polar bear to the dodo. We've sailed too far and now we want to go home. Well, of course you can go home, said the dodo. Really? Said the animals together. But when? You can go home when the trees grow back, and when the ice returns, and when the cities stop getting bigger, and when the hunting stops. Oh, said the orangutan thoughtfully. And when will that be? Asked the polar bear. I don't know, said the dodo. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And that's the end of the story. But on the back page here, there are some interesting facts about each of the animals, which tells us a bit about why they can't go home at the moment and what's happening to their habitats and the places they live in. So the polar bear's home. The polar bear's home is under threat. The Arctic is getting warmer because of climate change, and the sea ice where he feeds is melting away. That means that he won't have anywhere to live because he lives on the ice, and the food that he lives on, there won't be any left. Elephants are often killed by poachers and hunters for their tusks, which are these here, which are made out of ivory. And ivory is used to make things like jewellery and ornaments, so nothing that we really need. And their habitat is getting lost as well, and that's threatening them even further. So they're running out of places to live. The orangutan is losing its home. It lives in the forests, but due to overlogging for wood, its home is getting smaller and smaller. So we saw in the picture earlier that people are using all the trees for wood. So they're cutting down all the trees, but that's where the orangutan lives. And without the trees, he won't have a home. And the panda, I wonder if any of you know what pandas eat. They only eat one thing, and that is bamboo. And the panda only eats bamboo, and because of the destruction of its natural home, it is harder and harder for it to find the food it needs. So all the bamboo is being cut down, and cities are replacing the places where he lives. So there's nothing left for him to eat because bamboo is the only thing that he likes. And then the dodo, he is an extinct animal. So just like the dinosaurs are extinct, we don't have dodos anymore. And he was overhunted. So a long, long time ago, people went to his island, and he was a very friendly bird. So he went up to people to see them. And because he was so easy to catch, they used to use him for food. And because of that, and because their habitats were destroyed, we have no dodos left at all in the world anymore. Not one. So maybe now we've had a read of this story, you might want to go off and research or have a look maybe and find out what information you can find about what's happening to the homes of these animals, or maybe find out something about what happened to the dodo and have a chat to your grown-up about it, because most of the things that's happening to these animals is because of people and what we do to live. Okay?